All right, so today I'm spilling the tea on Capricorn men. Hello, my little wonderbugs. Welcome to my channel. And my name is Maria Isul. I'm a tarot card reader and a witch. And today we'll be talking about Capricorn men and how to deal with them, what to expect if you're dating one, and all those lovely little things about Capricorn men. But before we start, I just want to let you know that if you are interested in a reading or want to join my Patreon or any of those lovely things, plus social media or anything, just go to the little link that you'll see right about here, give or take. And just go there and you'll find all the links for any of those things that you may or may not be interested. If you're interested in other videos about the other zodiac signs, there should be a little thing right here, little exclamation mark, and just click there and it'll take you to the playlist of all of these videos. All right, so before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that what I'm about to tell you about Capricorn men is really depending on their astrological, the rest of their astrological chart. So depending on what they have in their chart depends on the intensity, the level of everything that I'm going to tell you right now, okay? So some might be really dramatic on these, and some Capricorn men may have these aspects, but not to the intensity that you might expect, depending on what's in their birth chart, okay? So here we go. All right, so first things first, Capricorn in love is very awkward. They don't understand romantic feelings. They feel that they are foreign to them. So when they do fall in love, they have a tendency of acting weird and unusual and maybe even a little silly. But even then, it's more weird than silly, to be honest. And they see you like if you're from another planet or just weird to them, because they have these feelings that they don't understand and they just don't comprehend why they have those feelings, because the feelings aren't logical, they're not practical. They give them a sense of being out of control and not in control. And Capricorn is all about being in control of their lives and their beings. They have this innate desire to be in control. The upside to a Capricorn in love is that he will definitely be there for the long haul. Like, it's not common for them to fall in and out of love all the time. So when they do fall in love, they stick with it. Even if the relationship is toxic, meaning like maybe they're in a relationship where their partner is not the best for them, if they're in love, they will stay with that partner and try to make it work as much as possible. So it's an upside and a downside for them at times because they're so hard-headed. That's another thing. Capricorns are very hard-headed. Once they make a decision, it's really hard to change their mind. It's even harder than a Taurus. So they're very hard-headed. They're very like, this is how I want life to be, so this is how it's gonna be. So they're a little bit hard to get along and to compromise with. Though they're very emotional when they are in love, they have a hard time showing it. So even if they're madly in love with you, they're not the ones to be emotional about it or being very sentimental like a Pisces. They don't see it things like that. So for instance, instead of giving you flowers for your birthday, even though you love flowers, they'll buy you a new pair of shoes for work because you need to work. And, you know, if you don't work, chaos will come into your life, and they don't want that for you. So they're being thoughtful by giving you work shoes that you need. And that's their way of showing you that they love you, not by buying you flowers or a pretty gift. They're not big on showing PDA. So if you like being affectionate in public and expressing your love for a person in public, that will make them feel very uncomfortable for the most part, because they feel like doing that would be, how can I put it, losing control and putting themselves in a vulnerable position, which they do not like doing whatsoever. When it comes to sex and sexual acts, if they're in love with you, they become a sexual deviant, to be honest. They will want to have sex with you all the time. They will have a lot of fun, and they will, to a certain degree, be experimental, but very, like, not to an extreme. But if they're not emotionally attached to you, if they don't have that emotional deep connection with you, sex is very bleh. Or they might not even have sex with you. They're not ones for casual sex for the most part. And if they do find you attractive enough for that, the sex will be good, but it won't be the real him. It won't be the real him sexually. That he keeps for the person that he actually truly loves. They're also very difficult in relationships in general. If they are not really truly in love with you, they have a hard time letting loose or letting go of the control in their own lives around you and with you. And the reason is because they just don't like that. If they don't trust you or love you or have a reason to give you that control over them, I guess you could say, they don't, and they basically clam up. So it's kind of hard once you're dating them and you're getting to know them and they haven't reached that level with you. They can be very controlling and sort of like a stick in the mud to a certain degree. It's like the guy that you're just like, come on, dude, like at least smile, like at least look like if you're having a fun time. So they can be a little bit difficult to date at first. They can be very possessive and controlling, but not necessarily like about you, but towards you with their own stuff. So like, let's say they're not ones to share what's theirs with people that they don't trust. So when you start dating them, you might feel like comfortable with them eventually, like after like the third or the fourth date, but they're still testing you. They're still sort of like, I don't know. So don't expect there to be some sort of like ease in them too much, because they take their time getting to know someone, especially if they're starting to have a romantic feelings for you. Yeah, like they even then they're a little bit like, what the heck? I'm really liking this person. This is so weird. I normally don't have this connection. So even when they are getting romantically involved with you and they are starting to have those feelings, they even then they have a hard time sort of letting go of the control. They eventually do, but I mean, to be honest, you have to have a lot of patience with a Capricorn. Lots of patience. They're also very, I guess you could say, traditionalists. They like things done traditionally. So in other words, they're not ones for trying new, wild, and crazy things because of that sense of control that they have. They like traditional stuff. So if you go on a date with them, even if they're not romantically or emotionally attached to you yet, you'll still have a very nice, very gentleman type experience with them. So they'll open the door for you, they'll pay for your dinner, you'll have like that traditional adult, mature experience with them. Even if they are very young, they'll still do this. They expect having adult conversations, like very, very serious, very intense conversations. They're not for childish acts until they get comfortable with you. When they fall in love and have those type of feelings, then you might have some childish experiences, and they'll take jokes better. But at first, it's like this very intense, like, I guess you could say, just like your traditional gentleman type date. And like I was saying before, when they fall in love, they stick to you. They don't like to leave. Even if the relationship is kind of dead already, they still won't leave. They will stick with it because they're so hard-headed that they don't get it. They don't take a hint when you're just like, yeah, I'm kind of done. Also, if he's made the decision that he loves you and he wants to be with you, then he will stay faithful. Even when you wouldn't think he could, he does. It's very rare for a Capricorn man to cheat, especially if he's truly romantically in love with you. If he's not, then yeah, shit could happen. And he doesn't like to hurt people intentionally. When he is being very controlling and to a certain degree very difficult, he's not doing this because he hates you or he thinks ill of you in some way or another. He's just doing this because this is just who he is. It's not anything against you. There's nothing wrong with you. He's not, like there's no like, oh, me against them kind of mentality with him. It's just that you haven't reached that level of importance in his life just yet. And when you do, that's when that door really opens up and the floodgates of emotion comes out. But even then, he doesn't express it the same way, but he can still be romantically intense on certain occasions if he's pushed to it, but it doesn't come naturally for him. So don't expect, extreme gestures of love and whatnot. At least not in the way that you would see, again, a Pisces doing it. It would be more practical gestures of love, and that for him is like more romantic than giving you flowers, like I said earlier. And here we come to the part of him having control or wanting control. So with him, it's mainly that he doesn't like failing. And this comes from a fear of failing. And the reason he gets this, usually, not always, is because he's had at least one or both parents have done something that has made him fear failing. So for instance, if one of his parents is a drug addict or is some sort of, like a bum, or has failed at something, but failed drastically at something that has really changed, either has affected his life, not just his parents' life, but his life. And because of that, he doesn't want to repeat that. So he has this thing that he must control the situation so he does not fail, because he cannot fail, because he doesn't want to experience that or be that person like he saw when he was younger. Not all Capricorn men are like that, but most are. When he finally opens up to you, you'll see a side of him that you really didn't expect. It's like this overwhelming sense of just a floodgate of love and admiration. And the odd thing is that he had this before. He's had this before. He's had that feeling for you before, but he didn't trust himself or have the control to express it or show it to you. But then when he does, it's like all of a sudden you're like, where the heck did this come from? Holy shit. He's also a very goal-oriented person. So he expects the same level of like intensity of, aspirations in his life, that he expects the same from you. He expects that same sort of quality of, dedication in your life as much as he has. So if he's planning on becoming the president, guess what? You gotta be the perfect first lady. So he expects that of you. He expects perfection. If he's going to be perfect and very in control of his life, he expects that from you. So if you're like wild and crazy and you like going on adventures and you're like, plans, what are plans? I don't know what that is. I just, whatever lands on my lap, that's what I do. He will lose his shit. He doesn't like that. He gets very like, no. He will avoid becoming friends with people that are like that. That if he feels that they are out of control, he's like, no, you're going to bring that chaos into my life and I just can't have that. So just remember that when you are going on a date and he happens to be a Capricorn, and you tell him that you skydive, maybe keep that for like, the sixth date. Last but not least, when it comes to giving him gifts or being nice to him in that way, give him something practical, something that he can use, invest in, and it's all about quality, not quantity. So if you can get him something like work shoes, because it'll help him work better, they're more comfortable, that would be like, wow, she really cares about me. You know, she's going out of her way. She bought me these shoes so I can, you know, do a better job and this and that, blah, blah, blah. He sees that, you know, that domino effect connection. But if you give him like cologne or something like that, or a t-shirt, and, you know, it might be a t-shirt that he likes, that he has like a favorite logo of a team or something, he'd be like, yeah, that's great. But what am I going to do this besides wear it? I'm not going to do anything else. You know, like they want something that is more practical, because they see the emotional, not emotional connection, but they see the practical connection. They see like, oh, she's taking care of me. She or he, because it really depends. You know, he's like, they really care about me. They're investing their time and money in what I want to invest in my life. So that for them is like, oh my God, it's like, it's a really beautiful romantic gesture for them. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, because, you know, I may have missed something in this Capricorn world that we were talking about. And I'd like to see your opinions and or experience with Capricorn men. And have you dated any of them? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Did I miss something? You know, the usual. The next video is going to be about Sagittarius, which is this girl's sun sign. Oh yeah. Other than that, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe. And if you have any other video requests, let me know. Other than that, much love and blessings.